I will be here waiting for you. I have a special party announcement. Okay?
Coming to town, coming home to town. Yeah, take that.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
For decades, Puff Daddy's parties were the place to be. From his annual Hamptons White Party to the blowout birthday bashes, the lavish champagne and caviar-filled soirees were attended by the likes of Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, Leonardo DiCaprio, and I could go on and on. For his 50th birthday, Puff Daddy partied with the members of the Kardashian family, Pharrell, Kate Beckinsale, Naomi Campbell, so many people. Well, new images are now going viral on social media and show a lot of photos of these white parties with the megastars. Specifically, in images that have resurfaced in the news, it appears everybody in attendance is holding a big bottle of something fun, and you see Leonardo DiCaprio when he was a bit younger, you know, enjoying a puff, appears to be in good spirits. Even Mariah Carey poses in white in another photo. Ashton Kutcher, who has spoken out many times about being at these parties and the debauchery, he's seen in an image wearing white, hanging from a tree. There's other photos showing the party waitresses dressed in their white angel wing attire. Now, some celebrities have spoken up about their appearances, specifically the Kardashians. In a 2014 episode of their hit show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe recalled hitting up a Puff Daddy bash in Las Vegas. And when asked about what went down when, you know, things were partying, she was kind of mum. Same thing, you ask anybody. Somebody asked Ashton Kutcher back in 2019, and he's like, I got a lot I can't tell. And then he was like flipping through the Rolodex in his head, and he was like, yeah, I can't tell that story either. Which, like, tell us now, folks. It's a court case. In 2016, when Howard Stern asked Usher, you know, who lived with Puff Daddy for a year when he was getting into the industry, whether he would let anybody he knew attend a, you know, Puff Daddy party, the singer was like, yeah, no. Obviously, following the accusations leveled against Puff Daddy in the recent lawsuits, a lot of stars have been distancing themselves from the infamous parties instead of bragging about them. One in particular, Puff Daddy's longtime rival 50 Cent, saying that he's been very vocal about not going to puffy parties, not doing anything like that. He said there's just an uncomfortable energy connected to it. Whereas Puffy's friend Ray J was like, I've never seen the stuff that's being said. I've never been in the rooms that people are talking about. I don't think they existed. He's like, oh, a lot of people in the industry can agree with me on that sense. So look, according to the sources, unsavory behavior took place at these after parties for the parties. So apparently what happened at 2 a.m. paled in comparison to what happened at 5 a.m., which, like, okay, leave before 2. There was another source who wrangled guests apparently for these white parties that happened between 2006 and 2011 and mentioned that yes, the high profile celebrities would leave around like 2 to 3 a.m. because that's when the party was taking a turn for the naughtier. That's when folks would start to lose their clothes. That was kind of a signal for people to get the heck out. That's when all the fun substances would come out to play. These benders would last until 7 a.m. There would be professional workers present who would do whatever you want. So who was all spotted? Who were these high profile celebrities? Well, like I mentioned before, Paris Hilton, Mariah Carey, they were spotted enjoying the lavish and extravagant atmosphere. Usher was at a lot of parties. He's mentioned that wild things happened, but it's kept rather mum. Beyonce and Jay-Z have both been photographed but have stayed silent about the accusations. Diana Ross was at these parties, Owen Wilson. Look, at the end of the day, the indictment has kind of sparked a lot of debate over the contrast between Puff Daddy's cultural influence at the height of his career with the white parties, and then you've got to compare all the behavior behind closed doors during those years and the years since, with some folks saying he should have been arrested like 20 years ago. All these parties were very popular from the start. They attracted entertainment talent, industry titans. The original guest list reportedly numbered like 1,000 people who were required to wear white, at least according to the Hollywood Reporter. And Martha Stewart, who was a guest of the first party, was like, having an entire party dressed in white was an amazing sight. Paris Hilton described the initial event as iconic. Everyone was there, and like being the socialite of the early 2000s, she would know. These white parties grew very quickly, and from the events that were initially organized in the suburbs, but grew to be like the epicenter of LA. Now, Puff Daddy did use some of these parties to raise funds for various causes he supported, demonstrating his social influence at the time. I know there was one that he hosted in 2009 with Ashton Kutcher, mind you, to raise awareness of malaria. And the parties got bigger and bigger as corporate sponsors came into play. Puff Daddy used it to launch a lot of different brands, philanthropic efforts. I know one party was sponsored by Vitamin Water. Now, technically, the last official white party on record in LA was in 2009, but like I said, we do have records of these parties going until 2011. So there was a 1999 interview with Entertainment Tonight where Puff Daddy talked about the white parties that hit social media, and in 1999, he was saying, they don't want me to party anymore, but we're not gonna stop. We will continue to have fun, to unite people from all walks of life. And he made a prediction. He said, you will hear about my holidays. They're gonna shut them down, maybe they're gonna arrest me. They're gonna do all kinds of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. He said that like whenever you bring a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizons, people get intimidated. So there's a lot of folks that are out there that feel intimidated by it. Folks, he was saying this in 1999. It is now 2024. He also joked about his tactics for keeping women from ditching the get-togethers back in 2002 with Conan O'Brien. So when Conan was like, hey, how do you throw a great party? And Puff Daddy was like, woman. Beautiful man for the ladies, of course. You need some water. You know, I don't know if guys have noticed this, but a lot of ladies drink water at parties. So if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Gotta keep them in there. Need locks on the doors. Now when Conan was like, hey, that sounds dangerous, Diddy was like, no, 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 it's a fun time. Conan, props to you for realizing early on that this was not it. So we're gonna go back. Who else has been spotted at these crazy parties that might have something to say? Well, apparently Cat Williams has had to turn down $50 million 4 times to protect her integrity and some other things. Puffy be wanting to party and you got to tell him no. You gotta tell him no. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you, that's why I can say them so freely. Now, at the time, like, there was also a tease that maybe, you know, there's some more things coming to light. And you're not wrong. Once again, all these folks seem to be mind readers today because the more I talk about things, the more that pops up like whack-a-mole. Kendra Wilkinson. We all remember Girl Next Door, right? With Hugh Hefner. So she went to 1 or 2 of Puffy's parties in their heyday, and she said, hey, I had a great time, I didn't really see anything. She's like, yeah, like I never saw anything bad happening around me, like, and she's not saying that something bad didn't happen, she's just saying that nothing bad ever happened to her, which, okay, at least she made a statement. That's more than Beyonce and Jay-Z and Ashton's kind of half statement. So Beyonce has allegedly possibly broken her silence. There's this leaked audio clip that's been going around online. Some folks think it's AI, some folks think it's real. I don't think it's been officially debunked one way or another yet because Beyonce still hasn't made an official statement. And obviously Beyonce has been heavily criticized by fans for rubbing shoulders with the Bad Boy Records owner, with a lot of folks being like, hey, you should say something, you should say this is bad. So going back to the recording, apparently she admits to being at the notorious part of the parties. She's like, oh yeah, my involvement in those parties was for entertainment purposes. I had no idea about any of that terrible stuff going on. It is crucial to separate my presence at a party from any illegal activities that might have been occurring. You know I stand against exploitation and violence, so like let's make that clear. Now, obviously folks are debating the authenticity of it, so you let me know in the comments what you think. Okay.
Diddy is in jail for some terrible crimes he committed, and it seems like the Kardashians are somehow all wrapped up into this, as they've attended his parties multiple times and considered the music mogul a friend. Now recently, photos have been leaked and clips have resurfaced of the Kardashians at Diddy parties. There's one photo that was released of Diddy, Paris Hilton, and Kim Kardashian all together at one of Diddy's white parties. Now this photo was taken in 2006, 1 year before they started filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So even before they really rose to fame, Kim was still seen with the star. Now this begs the question, did Diddy help her gain her fame? Diddy was said to be able to make anyone a star, and we know he was friends with Ray J. Now do you see what I'm getting at here? Just a thought. Now, the Kardashians have been partying with Diddy for almost 2 decades now, and they are very close. Now, Khloe even interned with Diddy and went with him on tour when she was younger. Recently, a clip from Keeping Up has resurfaced with Khloe talking about being at a Diddy party. Now, it might have been funny then in 2014, but 10 years later, now what she says is just straight up concerning. In one scene, Khloe is talking with her sister Kourtney. So, who was you with with this weekend?" Kourtney asked. "A bunch of my friends, including Diddy, Quincy Combs, Justin Bieber, French Montana," Khloe responded. Now elsewhere in the episode, Khloe described her experience attending Diddy's party while bowling with Kourtney and their friend. "I haven't been to bed yet. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m., she shared. "Well, this party, I think half the people were naked," and Khloe then told Kourtney that she would have loved it. Now Kourtney was unfazed about these comments on the partiers stripping down at the party, and she then turned to Khloe's friend to ask if she had met her sister's new crew of friends at the party. "No, well, kind of," Khloe's friend replied, to which Khloe jumped in snapping, stop talking." Now when her friend tried to defend herself, telling Khloe that she hadn't revealed anything, Khloe ordered her friend to stop talking again. Now this is just weird. What did Khloe not want her friend to say? Why was she so worried? It's just so strange. Now 2 years later, Khloe then invited Diddy to appear on her Cocktails with Khloe series, where she continuously praised the star. "Well, I know you're known for the parties. When you think of a good party, that was an epic night too. Every night," Kourtney reflected. "That night was so fun because all the girls ditched me, so it was just me and the boys. It was me, Kanye, Corey Gamble, Tyga, and we were all just hanging out and it was fun. I loved it." Now Khloe then added, "I don't know how you have all the energy, but that's who you are and that's why people are so drawn to you, because you're so electric," she said to Diddy. "No matter what, no matter how much you work, you don't sleep, you don't do anything, but that's just you." Now Diddy's friendship with the family was still going strong 3 years later, as Khloe posted pictures beside Diddy and her siblings, Kim and Kylie, on December 16th, 2019. She posted photos from Diddy's 50th birthday party and then captioned the post, "Nothing like a Diddy party." Now the Kardashians and Diddy have been in similar social circles for years, but they have distanced themselves in recent times. Right before Diddy's houses were raided in March of this year, Kim reportedly hit unfollow on Instagram, making her one of the many Hollywood celebrities to disassociate themselves from him. Now Kim's ex-boyfriend, Ray J, has spoken about his own experience at Diddy parties and said a lot of people in the industry were unaware of anything related to the allegations and the charges against the rapper. Now, the Kardashian family hasn't been implicated in any of the charges, but maybe they saw some things and they didn't report them. None of them have spoken out about what has happened with their great friend Diddy, but a resurfaced clip of Kanye West calling out Diddy has been going around too. You see, 2 years ago in 2022, Kanye West claimed that Diddy was working with law enforcement, and that's why he was getting away with some of the stuff that he was doing. In the interview for Drink Champs in 2022, Kanye called out celebrities for allegedly working with law enforcement to turn on other celebrities so they could avoid prison. Now, one of the celebs he called out by name was Diddy. Now, the whole interview was eventually deleted due to some offensive things Kanye said, as it was 2022, and this is when he was having what appeared to be some sort of breakdown. But with people now digging this interview up, his comments about Diddy hold more weight. Kanye said that Diddy is making deals to keep himself out of trouble. "The reason why you gotta talk is because you did a deal, you effing fed. That's why you've gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all of that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna pull my card," he said. Now, a lot of people didn't take this seriously, as Kanye was acting, well, insane in 2022 and was just full of hate, but it seems like he might have been right about this. In the end though, Diddy was arrested, so if he did have a deal, it seems like it didn't work out. Now in 2022, again, Kanye posted texts between him and Diddy, and one included Kanye saying, "F you, you fed." It seems like Kanye knew there was something up with Diddy the whole time, and now am I saying that we should always listen to what Kanye says? No, I'm not, but hey, maybe he has some points when it comes to pop culture. Now, what happened at these Diddy parties? Well, from past witnesses and attendees, it seems like a lot of crimes. According to former music industry insider Tom Swoop, he had been to the parties and has posted about it on his YouTube channel. He broke down how the parties worked for the viewers and claimed that the parties were separated into tiers of access. There was general admission, then a series of tiers ending with entrance to the inner circle, where the real partying went on. Now, this allegedly included humiliating male and female guests on the promise of record deals or money. Now, an aspiring singer named Tania was invited to one of Diddy's parties, and she's now spoken out publicly about what she experienced. Tania told the Soft White Underbelly YouTube channel that her phone was taken by security upon entry. She later said, "You have the pool and they're playing loud house music. It makes you feel kind of woozy, like it's a rave or something. Everybody was walking around drunk. It's still 7 a.m. so the sun is coming up and people are walking around naked. They're in the pool skinny dipping and they're drinking mimosas in the pool." When she went into the house, she was completely shocked by what she saw. "I don't judge people, but you know when people are out of their mind," she said. "I'm seeing stuff you see in the movies. This corner they're doing this corner they're doing that," she said. Now, YouTuber Jeff Wittick also spoke about going to one of Diddy's parties in Miami. Jeff said it took place at a mansion that had like 8 stories, and that every time he went up a level, the weirder things got. Now, he didn't go into too much detail, but you can really just imagine what was going on. Jeff also said he witnessed people getting it on at the party right in front of him, and he said that he did not participate in that part, but he did drink a lot. "It was just crazy. I was literally there and lived through it," he said. Now, Diddy has also been hit with 20+ lawsuits from people who are celebrities, normal people, different genders, have different ages, and lived all over the United States. Cases are stacking up against Diddy, and it doesn't seem like they'll stop anytime soon, so now we just have to wait and see if any other celebrities are connected in his case, which honestly I think they will be. The Kardashians are linked more to Diddy than you think, as Kim Kardashian has been spotted at some of Diddy's infamous white parties. Everyone knows that the Kardashians are one of the most powerful families out there, but it seems like Kris Jenner wasn't able to wipe this photo of her daughter Kim at one of Diddy's white parties off the internet fast enough. Now, photos have surfaced of Kim at one of Diddy's white parties in 2006. Now, this was before her tape with her ex Ray J was leaked, and it was a year before her family started filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So, how was she able to get into this exclusive party? That has to do with Paris Hilton. In 2006, Kim began working as a stylist for Paris Hilton as they were childhood friends. Now, at the time, Kim had a closet organizing business, and Paris was one of her clients. Now, Kim appeared in several episodes of the reality series The Simple Life and was frequently photographed with Paris going to events and parties, aka the Diddy Party. And since Paris was a young socialite, she was able to attend the most lavish and exclusive parties, and this included Diddy's. So with her being as close as she was with Kim, she got to tag along too. I mean, in 2008, Paris even spoke out about attending Diddy's first ever party in 1998, saying it was iconic and everyone was there. So it appears that Paris may have been the one who introduced Diddy to Kim. And how convenient is it that a year after she met Diddy, she rose to fame after her tape was leaked with Ray J, who was friends with Diddy. Yes, Kim's ex was very good friends with Diddy. Now, Ray J has actually spoken out about Diddy in the past couple of months and said that a lot of people in the industry had been unaware of anything relating to the serious allegations made against Diddy. Ray J explained, "We've never seen the stuff that's being said and the stuff people are finding out. Like, I've never been in the rooms that people are talking about, and I never knew they existed." And a lot of people in the industry can agree with me on that sense. Like, you all wanted to go and have a good time at a Diddy party. He then proceeded to say that guests wanted to have a good time, be inspired, and work hard the following day because of the good vibes they'd enjoyed. According to Ray J, people are still trying to digest and understand everything, and while the allegations weren't factual yet, they have still proven to be hurtful and confusing for some. Now, shortly before Diddy's mansions were raided earlier this year, Kim actually unfollowed Diddy on social media, as did a number of other stars. Now, did Kim know what was coming? I mean, Kim and her sisters were in the same social circles as Diddy, and the siblings have often spoken of the fun times they had with Diddy, so was Kim aware? Well, it appears that she and her team are trying to quiet any speculation. A user recently posted a video on X, aka Twitter, claiming that Kim was involved in Diddy's infamous tapes and was under an FBI investigation. A user of the social networking site X shared a post with images of a cease and desist order from Kim's lawyer, Christina Davis. The user received the order in an email after they posted claiming Kim was under FBI investigation for being involved in Diddy's infamous videos. Now, the user accused the billionaire of blackmail and taking advantage of men and being possibly embroiled with the notorious tapes. Now, the post read, "Kim Kardashian's lawyer hit me with a cease and desist after I posted a video where someone suggested she might be under FBI investigation for blackmail, mistreating men, and possibly being involved with the infamous Diddy tapes." However, the user stated that such orders are nothing and will continue to speak out on the matter. The caption added, "Their threats and intimidation are pointless. Nothing can stop what's about to unfold. Let me be clear, if I suddenly go silent, that's not my decision." The caption concluded with, "I've now become a target of Balenciaga's most powerful partner." Now, the alleged order from Kim's lawyer stated, "I'm an attorney for Kim Kardashian and write to demand that you immediately cease and desist from publishing false and defamatory statements on the X account at Shadow of Ezra about my client." It further referred to the post shared by the user earlier, due to which the order was being sent to then. It further read, "Your statements claiming Miss Kardashian has committed crimes or is involved or being investigated for crimes are categorically false and illegal." It also demanded the removal of said video, accusing Kim to be removed immediately, else Miss Kardashian will pursue legal action for your defamatory statements. Now, some Twitter users are questioning whether the letter is real or not, but all I know is that Kim, and more importantly her mother, wouldn't want her connected in any way with Diddy. I mean, the Kardashians are always wrapped up in their own scandals, and if Kim were connected to him like the Twitter user claims, she could kiss being a lawyer goodbye, as it is just not a good look. While Kim is being tied to Diddy, her ex-husband Kanye West has been praised by people online, as an interview from 2022, the rapper warning people about Diddy. In an interview for Drink Champs, Kanye called out celebrities for allegedly working with law enforcement to turn on other celebrities so they could avoid prison. Now, one of the celebs he called out by name was Diddy. Kanye said that Diddy is making deals to keep himself out of trouble. "The reason why you gotta talk is because you did a deal, you effing fed. That's why you've got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna pull my card," he said. Now, a lot of people didn't take this too seriously at the time, as 2022 Kanye was not, well, to say the least. But Diddy eventually was arrested though, so if he was working with law enforcement like Kanye claimed, whatever deal he had was broken. Now, this isn't all though, as that same year, Kanye posted texts between the two of them. One included Kanye saying, "F you, you fed." It seems like Kanye was suspicious of Diddy the whole time, and hey, maybe we should have listened to him. Then there's Kris Jenner. Now, old selfies of Kris and Diddy are resurfacing. Diddy had a close bond with Kris, and once admitted while appearing on her talk show in 2013 that he had a long-time crush on the matriarch. He joked to Kris, "Once you go black, you never go back." As Kris laughed, "Is he flirting with me again?" Then they worked together again in 2013 when she helped him launch his own platform, Revolt TV, and they were spotted hanging out at the Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony honoring producer and singer Kenneth Babyface Edmonds. Now, it's also been found that Corey Gamble, Kris's longtime boyfriend, has something to do with all this Diddy stuff. An insider said that Corey was aware of Diddy's controversial engagements. A lot of people believe that Corey must have had some knowledge of what was going on, claimed a source. But the insider also noted that Corey totally denies these allegations, which, I mean, of course he would. Now, fans of the Kardashians have always found Corey to be somewhat creepy, and if it turns out that he is connected to all the Diddy stuff, well then that would be bad. In a series of now deleted 2022 social messages, Kanye West also dissed Corey for his connection to Diddy and Justin Bieber. "I think he's a nice person, not a great person, a nice person who used to be around Puffy's family, then got around Justin Bieber." Now, all of this coming out is not a good look for the Kardashian family. However, it's been said that Kris has already started to plan her family's rescue in case things get dirty for her daughters. It's all very ugly and very embarrassing, and Kris is scrambling to distance them from all of this and distract everyone, but that's going to be impossible if they get called in to testify, a source said. Another source said, all these years that they bragged about partying with Diddy have of course got everyone assuming that they were somehow involved in these depraved freak-offs, the source stated. They then asserted that the family had no idea of the sorts of twisted things he was up to after hours. Now chatting to In Touch magazine, the insider divulged, Diddy had plenty of glamorous parties over the years that weren't freak-offs, at least not until the early morning hours when the majority of people had left. Now they suggested that Kris is presently scrambling to distance them from all of this. The Kardashians are known for always being surrounded by controversy, and now they are in hot water for their association with Diddy. Throughout the years, the Kardashians have bragged about being friends with Diddy and partying with them. One of the most outspoken members of the family about this has been Khloe, as she seemed to be the closest to him. When Khloe was younger, she was actually an intern for him. Although she can't remember exactly what she did for the star, she remembers being in the studio and running around. Then in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it was revealed that she even went on tour with Diddy when she was an intern, which is honestly just a little weird because she was quite young at the time. It seems like Diddy definitely could have exposed her to some of his partying ways, as she was alone with him without her family or a guardian. Now, this isn't the only alarming thing about Khloe in relation to Diddy. During a 2014 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe Kardashian told her older sister Kourtney Kardashian that she spent the weekend with, quote, a bunch of her friends, including Diddy, Quincy Combs, Justin Bieber, and French Montana. Later on, she spoke more about the party to Kourtney and one of her friends who was also there. Quote, I haven't been to bed yet, I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m., Khloe shared. While this party, I think half the people were butt naked, she added, which is just, well, a little weird. Now, Kourtney wanted to know more about this, but when Khloe's friend went to explain more, Khloe shushed her and said stop talking. Maybe Khloe was nervous about what her friend could have revealed and knew it would get her in trouble, especially since they were recording for the TV show. Overall, it was just a very strange encounter, and with fans watching it back now after everything we know about Diddy, it's just all really raising some eyebrows. Now, in another clip, this time from a 2016 episode of Cocktails with Khloe, it has gone viral, showing Khloe and Kourtney talking to Diddy. Quote, well, I know you're known for the parties. When you think of a party or a good time, you think of Puff. Diddy simply responded, quote, yeah. To which Khloe added with a touch of nostalgia, quote, we've been known to party with you a few times. She turned to her sister Kourtney asking, quote, do you remember Diddy's birthday? To which Kourtney admitted, quote, yes, I forgot about that. That was an epic night too. Then in an Instagram post that Khloe posted in December 2019, which has resurfaced, the photo shows Khloe alongside sisters Kylie and Kim posing next to Diddy, and the caption reads, nothing like a Diddy party. A lot of people have gone back to the post and have said that it's aged like milk, and some have questioned why she's even kept the post up. It's been reported that after all of this horrible information about Diddy came out, celebrities have definitely been trying to distance themselves from the star and have scrubbed their social media accounts of any photos and videos of him. While Khloe has kept the photos up, her sister Kim actually unfollowed Diddy in March, right before his houses were raided. Was the timing of this just a coincidence, or did she know something at that time that the rest of the world didn't? I mean, she's in the world of lawyers and law, and maybe someone tipped her off about all of this before it happened. I mean, Kim has known Diddy for more than 2 decades, as she was the first one spotted at one of his parties in 2006. Now, this was before her tape with Ray J was released, and before they started filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians. When she first met Diddy, she was essentially a nobody, and this actually has people questioning whether Diddy had anything to do with her rise to fame, as her ex Ray J was good friends with Diddy. According to former music industry insider Tom Swoop, he had been to the parties and posted about it on his YouTube channel. He broke down how the parties worked for the viewers and claims that the parties were separated into tiers of access. Tom claimed Diddy told him, quote, "I can make anybody do anything because this life is what they want, and I got the keys to the castle." Now, Tom didn't like any of this, so he left the party thinking, if this is what goes on behind the curtain and you're all comfortable with this, I don't want this life. He added, there were so many celebrities there who were cool with who he was and what he did to entertain them. It's not isolated. He added, you all need to think of everybody when you think of him and the access and amount of people who were there. So, did Diddy have a role in helping Kim become famous? I mean, there's definitely a very real possibility. Then, there is everything with Kris Jenner. The pair were good friends, and Diddy even appeared on her talk show once. During the August 2013 appearance, things got a little flirty between the two when Diddy revealed that he long had a crush on the reality television star after seeing a throwback photo of her wearing a swimsuit. He joked to Kris, quote, "Once you go black, you never go back," as the momager giggled, quote, "Is he flirting with me again?" Jenner returned the playful banter while interacting with another muscular male guest, telling the crowd, quote, "Don't tell Diddy about this, he's going to be so jealous." The pair were then spotted hanging out in October 2013 following the Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony honoring producer and singer Kenneth Babyface Edmonds. Jenner, having over 20 years of experience with TV networks, even helped Diddy when he launched his own platform, Revolt TV. The pair had since posted a lot of photos together, and it appears that she was closer to Diddy than we really knew. In January 2014, she shared several selfies on Instagram with Combs taken in what appears to be his office. In one of the images, Jenner represented the brand by rocking a Revolt baseball cap, while Diddy made a phone call. In another, they made silly faces into the camera, and Jenner captioned these images, "Bad Boy 2014. Drive by just to make sure he's taken care of business. #workaholics." Now, Kris even got Kylie Jenner involved in all of this. Kylie became an ambassador for the entertainment platform. In October 2013, Kylie celebrated the launch of the company with a tweet that read, quote, "The wait is over. @Revolt TV launches on @TWC and @Comcast today. The revolution is here. #Revolt launch." Then there's the connection between Kris's boyfriend, Corey Gamble, and Diddy. Corey is a talent manager, so it makes sense that he had a friendship with Diddy as they work in the same industry. At one point, the pair were actually very close. Now, in an episode of the Juicy Scoop podcast, which Newsweek reported, Spencer Pratt from The Hills discussed the drama, saying, quote, "The new conspiracy on TikTok is, which I'm sure will end this week because she'll pop up on Instagram, but Kris fled the country. No one has seen her since someone raided Diddy's house. Supposedly, she and Corey are on these tapes. This is all allegedly, it's what TikTok is saying. However, since that podcast, Kris has participated in a handful of events and has also uploaded a handful of posts on Instagram, and she's been seen out in public, so she clearly has fled the country. But is this tape footage real? That's something we'll just have to wait and see about." An insider said that Corey Gamble was aware of Diddy's controversial engagements. A lot of people believe that Corey must have had some knowledge of what was going on, claimed the source. The insider also noted that he, quote, "totally denies these allegations." Now, fans of the Kardashians have always found Corey to be somewhat creepy, so to them, if it turns out that he is connected to all the Diddy stuff, I don't really think that they would be too shocked. Now, to back this up, in a series of now deleted 2022 social messages, Kanye West also dissed Corey for his connection to Diddy and Justin Bieber. Quote, "I think he's a nice person, not a great person. A nice person who used to be around Puff's family, then got around Justin Bieber." Now, these aren't the only people accusing Corey of doing some bad things. Jaguar Wright accused Corey of being present when Diddy's ex-partner, Kim Porter, passed away of pneumonia in 2018. Despite her passing being ruled natural, conspiracy theories stated that Kim discovered Diddy's crimes and threatened to expose him. The theory continues to state that Diddy went to great lengths to ensure that it wouldn't happen again. She also accused Corey of training Justin a certain way and turning him into a victim of Diddy's crimes. Now, that is just extremely similar to what Kanye said, and it's all just a little unnerving, to be honest with you. Anonymous sources have come out and said that the family is embarrassed of their ties with Diddy, and that they had nothing to do with any of the crimes he committed, and that they didn't even know they were happening. It said that Kris is in full panic mode right now due to all of this, and yeah, I mean, I get it, because it really doesn't look good for the family right right now. Starting off, we have Kim. Now growing up, Kim worked for Paris Hilton, who was a rising socialite who attended Diddy's star-studded parties. I mean, she was even at the first ever white party he threw. Now as Paris and Kim's bond grew stronger, Kim attended events with Paris, and one of those just so happened to be one of Diddy's parties. Now photos from that event are from 2006. Now this was before Kim's tape got released and a year before her family started filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But by that time, she was already growing close with Diddy and started to build her connection with the star. Now Kim's ex-husband, Kanye West, actually used to be really good friends with Diddy as well. Now a resurfaced clip of Kanye calling out Diddy has been going around, as 2 years ago Kanye claimed that Diddy was working with law enforcement and that's why he was getting away with some of the stuff he was doing. In the interview for Drink Champs, Kanye called out celebrities for allegedly working with law enforcement to turn on other celebrities so they could avoid prison. One of the celebs he called out by name was Diddy. Kanye said that Diddy is making deals to keep himself out of trouble. The reason why you gotta talk is because you did a deal you fed, that's why you've gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all of that and to get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna pull my card, he said. Now, a lot of people didn't take this seriously as Kanye was acting, well, pretty much insane in 2022 and he was just full of hate, but it seems like he actually might have been right about this. But the Kardashian who has the most history with Diddy is Khloe. Now Khloe actually interned for Diddy when she was younger and even accompanied him on one of his tours. Since then, she stayed friends with him and he's been the topic of conversation on plenty of episodes of Keeping Up. In an episode titled Secrets of a Double Life, Khloe shared her experience attending one of Diddy's wild parties, and in the scene she's talking to her sister Kourtney and says, "I got on a plane at 5 a.m. Well, this party, I think half the people there were butt naked." She added the playful remark teasing Kourtney, saying, "You would have loved it." Now the list of attendees, as Khloe casually mentioned, included Diddy himself, his son Quincy, and Justin Bieber. Now Khloe has also shared her thoughts on Diddy's parties before. During a 2016 appearance on Cocktails with Khloe, she praised Diddy for his parties. "Well, I know you're known for the parties. When you think of a good time, you think of Puff," she remarked. Diddy simply responded with "yeah," and Khloe said, "We've been known to party with you a few times." This made it clear that the 2014 event wasn't the only Diddy party that she had attended. Now to top it all off, Kourtney was there too. Khloe then turned to her sister and asked, "Do you remember Diddy's birthday?" And Kourtney then responded, "Yes, I forgot about that. That was an epic night too." And Khloe then would continue partying with Diddy years later. In 2019, she posted a photo on Instagram along with her sisters Kylie and Kim from Diddy's 50th birthday party. The sisters are posing with Diddy in the photo, who's wearing a silver suit, and the caption reads, "Nothing like a Diddy party." Now this Instagram post is still up on her page, and a lot of people are looking back at it saying that it's aged like milk, and it has left them questioning why she hasn't deleted it yet. I don't know though, I feel like it would be more suspicious if she did delete it, but hey, that's just my opinion. Now regardless, the Kardashians have shared similar social circles to Diddy for a long time, and it seems like some of them are trying to distance themselves from him. In March, right before his houses were raided, Kim unfollowed Diddy on Instagram. And she's not the only celebrity who did this either. Barely any celebrities have spoken out about what's going on with Diddy, and barely anyone is defending him. It seems like Hollywood has determined that he's guilty. Now another one of Kim's exes, Ray J, has spoken out about Diddy recently, as he used to be good friends with the rapper, but now he doesn't know what to believe. He spoke to Chris Cuomo on News Nation's Cuomo, where he discussed his own experiences at Diddy parties. According to Ray J, there are a lot of people in the industry who are completely unaware of the allegations currently against Diddy. We've never seen the stuff that's being said and the stuff people are finding out. Like, I've never been in rooms that people are talking about, and I never knew they existed, he explained. And a lot of people in the industry can agree with me in that sense. Like, all you wanted to go and have a good time at a Diddy party. And hey, maybe the Kardashians were a part of this crowd and truly had no idea about what was going on. But Ray J then did a recent interview where he revealed more than before. He said, "I'm hearing about artists paying victims to keep their names out of it. Somebody has the truth, somebody pays you to keep it quiet, and hopefully that money you got paid secures your happiness while you watch the lie continue to succeed," he said. Now, interviewer Harvey Levin then pushed Ray J by asking if he knew anyone personally who had been offered money to stay quiet. The songwriter replied, "Here's the other way around it, Harvey. I'll give you money, please don't talk." He then claimed that high-profile individuals are reaching out to him, alleging, "They want to talk to me about what happened to them, they call me, they feel like they can trust me." Levin then asked if those contacting Ray J are high-profile celebrities who have an affiliation with Diddy, and he responded, "Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And I don't know why I said it, but so what? Now they're gonna be mad, come get me." Ray J then said, "I think I said too much." Now, in the interview, he did not name any names, but it still raised a lot of eyebrows. An insider close to the Kardashian family has said that they are in panic mode right now of how the family is reacting to the controversy. All these years that they bragged about partying with Diddy have of course got everyone assuming that they were somehow involved in these depraved freak-offs. The insider then said that the Kardashians are all insisting that they weren't involved in freak-offs and had no idea the sorts of twisted things he was up to after hours. Now, the source also pointed out that the family might not have been aware of the alleged criminal activity at the parties. They added, Diddy had plenty of glamorous parties over the years that weren't freak-offs, at least not until the early morning hours when the majority of people had left. Now, the source also commented on Kris Jenner's partner Corey Gamble and his connection to Diddy. Jaguar Wright accused Corey of being present when Diddy's ex-partner Kim Porter passed away of pneumonia in 2018. Now, despite her passing being ruled natural, conspiracy theories state that Kim discovered Diddy's crimes and threatened to expose him. Now, the theory continues to state that Diddy went to great lengths to ensure that wouldn't happen, and when addressing the rumors surrounding Corey, the insider told In Touch that a lot of people believe he must have had some knowledge of what was going on, which he totally denies. The source added, it's all very ugly and very embarrassing, and Kris is scrambling to distance them all from this and distract everyone, but that's going to be impossible if they get called to testify. Now, there have been some Kardashian fans who have always gotten some weird vibes from Corey, and now it's all starting to make sense for them. I mean, who knows how deep his connection in all of this really goes.
When Khloe Kardashian posts photos of her family, so True and Tatum, the comment section on those photos is usually flooded with well wishes and cute comments. However, a September 24th snapshot saw suspicion and anger mixed in amongst the usual well wishes, if you will. Followers appear to be turning on the Kardashians due to their previous association with Puff Daddy. So Khloe's Instagram post, where she dropped off her family at school, received plenty of positive comments. Pop singer Chloe Bailey said, "You're the best mama," but then there was other ones that were like a little more angry. Somebody said, "So we are just glossing over the fact that she and the other Kardashians knew what went on at parties. This circus is trying to deflect from them parties they went to," said another in all caps. So what parties are they referring to? Well, for decades, Puff Daddy parties were the place to be. From his annual Hamptons white party to blow-up birthday bashes, the lavish champagne and caviar-filled soirees were attended by, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, Leonardo DiCaprio, and many, many more. For his 50th birthday, Puff Daddy partied with members of the Kardashian family, as well as Pharrell, Kate Beckinsale, Naomi Campbell, but we're gonna focus on the Kardashians today, folks. There's some recent images going viral on social media that show a lot that happened at these white parties. Specifically, there's one image where it looks like everybody in attendance is holding a big bottle of something fun, and you've got Leonardo DiCaprio having a good time, in good spirits, Mariah Carey's having a great time, and then there's one photo that stands out to me. Puff Daddy screaming in fun with Paris Hilton in his arms and Kim Kardashian by his side. Now, there was a video that emerged this year showing Khloe Kardashian bragging about partying with a music mogul. This was in an old episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I believe the scene first aired in 2014, and it showed Khloe catching up with sister Kourtney as she unpacked a wild party with a bunch of friends, including Puff Daddy, Justin Bieber, and French Montana. Later in the episode, they enjoyed a bowling session with a pal when she shared, "I haven't been to bed yet. I got on a plane at like 5:30 a.m. So 2 years later, Khloe invited Puff Daddy to appear appear on her Cocktails with Khloe series, where she hailed him as a hardworking, eclectic person, saying, "Well, I know you're known for the parties. When you think of a party or a good time, you think of Puff. We've been known to party with you a few times." And then turning to Courtney, who was also taking part in the episode, she continued, "You were just at Puffy's birthday." And she said, "Yeah, I forgot about that. That was an epic night too. Every night. The night was fun because all the girls ditched me, so it was like me and the boys. It was me, Kanye, Corey, Tyga, and we were all just hanging out and it was fun. I loved it." So they were all heaping praise on Puff Daddy, saying like, "I don't know how you have all that energy, but that's who you are, and that's why people are drawn to you because you're so eclectic. No matter what, no matter how much you work, you don't sleep, you don't do anything, but that's just you." While this friendship was still going strong 3 years later, Khloe posted photos beside Puff Daddy and her siblings on December 16th of 2019. As seen on Instagram, she could be seen posing with, well, Puff Daddy and Kim and Kylie in 2 separate photos commemorating the 50th birthday blowout. So look, if we're going to talk about Kim right now, multiple outlets claim that she was amongst the folks to unfollow Puff Daddy on Insta, but she hasn't said anything publicly. Alongside an upload, which is still visible on her page, she wrote, "Nothing like a Puffy party." Nobody in the famous family has technically been linked to any of the allegations that Puff Daddy is facing, but they haven't spoken out following his arrest. They've been fawning over him for many years, and Kris Jenner's partner, Corey Gamble, has ties to the rapper as well. So news of his downfall has hit the family hard because they're dreading the prospect of testifying at his trial. According to an insider, they are in panic mode. All these years that they bragged about partying with him. According to the source from In Touch, the Kardashians are all insisting they weren't involved in the freak-offs. They had no idea the sorts of twisted things that he was up to after hours, even though we know Khloe partied with them after hours. And in fairness, the source did say that Puffy had plenty of glamorous parties over the years that weren't freak-offs, at least not until the early morning hours when the majority of people had left. So as for Kris and Corey's connection, well, Corey shared a post in 2020 honoring late model Kim Porter, who, had offspring with the rapper, saying, "Happy birthday, Kim Porter. I will always continue to thank you and Puffy for all you did for my life." So a lot of people are saying that Corey must have had some knowledge of what was going on, which he totally denies. Apparently it's all very ugly, very embarrassing. Kris is scrambling to distance himself from all this and distract everyone, but that's kind of going to be impossible if they get called to testify. Now, if we're going to talk more about Puffy parties, let's go back to 1999. An interview with Entertainment Tonight, where Puffy was talking about these holidays. And back then, he was saying, "They don't want me to party anymore, but we're not going to stop. We will continue to have fun, to unite people from all walks of life." And in that interview, he made a prediction that has come true, saying, "You're going to hear about my parties. They're going to shut them down. Maybe they're going to arrest me. They're going to do all kinds of crazy things just because we want to have a good time." He said, "Whenever you bring a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizons, people get intimidated." It's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. Now, he also joked about his tactics for keeping women from ditching these get-togethers back in 2002. It was an episode of Late Night with Conan O'Brien. And when Conan was like, "Hey, how do you throw a great party?" And Puffy was like, "Woman, beautiful woman, of course. Beautiful men for the ladies, of course. You need some water." I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but a lot of ladies drink water at parties. So if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Gotta keep them there. Need locks on the doors. Now, when Conan O'Brien was like, "Hey, that sounds dangerous," Diddy was like, "Nah, it's fun." Which, okay, that's not my idea of fun. So as allegations continue to surface about these infamous parties, it might be a while before we get all the details, because it turns out attendees were reportedly forced to sign NDAs. According to some news that leaked over the weekend, it was a standard agreement. The signed document says that party attendees can't share information related to the disgraced music mogul himself, partners, family members, friends, and business associates. They also prevent signees from photographing, filming, or recording Puff Daddy or anyone around him without written consent. The document also names social media platforms in which attendees cannot post photos or videos of the Bad Boy founder without permission. Also, signees are asked to not give interviews, write books, or discuss anything about Puff Daddy or things seen at his parties. So it kind of covers anything that could get him into trouble. Granted, the NDA does eventually expire. The signed document is valid for the length of Puff Daddy's life plus 20 years, or 70 years, whichever one's longer. Look, it's really a boilerplate NDA, but the basic gist of it is that anybody attending those parties needs written consent to share anything. Granted, the NDA didn't keep the authorities out of Puff Daddy's business. Although the NDA sounds airtight, the public already knows some of the secrets that are floating around, leading to the revocation of his key to the city of Miami. Apparently the city was like, yeah, no, with all this legal stuff going on, we want that back. Puff Daddy was first awarded the key to the city of Miami in 2015 after his former media company, Revolt, held the Revolt Music Conference in the waterfront city. However, after the release of the footage with him and Cassie and the allegations and his arrest, Miami was like, yeah, that's not a valid key anymore. Miami Beach's mayor, Stephen Minor, and the city commission voted unanimously on the matter. And there was a whole lot of other people as well that were like, yeah, no, we're taking that back. This decision comes after Miami Beach also revoked the Puff Daddy Day, which occurred on October 13th annually. This was rescinded this year, shortly after the footage got released.
Kardashians have been coming up a lot when it comes to Diddy and the investigation going on, but they're all connected to him for one reason, and it all started with Paris Hilton. Now, Paris Hilton was a young socialite in the 90s and early 2000s, and she loved to party. Due to this, she was very close with Diddy. I mean, she even attended his first ever white party and said that it was iconic. Now, Kim Kardashian was introduced to Diddy through Paris. Kim and Paris's friendship was first documented on Paris and Nicole Richie's reality show The Simple Life, which began airing in 2003. Paris was one of Kim's clients who had a closet organizing business. They then started to become friends, and Paris brought Kim to Diddy parties. There's one photo of the pair with Diddy at one of his infamous white parties, and it's from 2006. Now, this was before the Kardashians even had a TV show, or before they even started filming it. Then, her now ex-boyfriend Ray J was with Diddy. In 2007, Kim and Ray J's tape was leaked online, and it's how Kim rose to fame. The talk of the tape was a prominent topic on the first season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and Kim later sued Vivid Entertainment for ownership of the tape. In late April 2007, Kim dropped the suit and settled for $5 million. Now, the blame was put on Ray J for releasing the video, but after all these years, Ray J maintains his innocence. However, Ray J claimed that the famous family story was a lie. He claims Kim and Kris negotiated the release of the tape in the early 2000s. Kris apparently watched 3 different Ray J and Kim tapes and chose to leak the one that gave her daughter a better look. Now, Kris has denied playing a role in getting the tape released, but Ray J is still adamant that they did help. Now, my thought is, Ray J claims he didn't help, but maybe Diddy did. I mean, maybe Kim went to Diddy because she knew he could make anyone a star. She couldn't sing, act, or dance, so maybe he came up with the idea about the tape. Now, Ray J has spoken out about what's going on with Diddy, and he seems to be supporting the rapper. Ray J was recently interviewed by Chris Cuomo on News Nation's Cuomo, and he opened up about his relationship with Diddy, having gone to many of his parties. Ray J was adamant, though, that everything at the parties was normal. We've never seen the stuff that's being said and the stuff people are finding out. Like, I've never been in rooms that people are talking about, and I never knew they existed, he said. The artist said that although the previous generation of performers needs to be accountable for their behavior, I don't think this is the time to tear anybody down. Which, like, then I think you should be condemning someone like Diddy, but hey, what do I know? Now, besides Kim being connected, Khloe Kardashian has a real personal relationship with Diddy, which is honestly something I didn't know. When Khloe was in high school, she actually interned with Diddy, and she was with him in the studio and helped him with his show Making the Band. Now, this is said to have all happened in the year 2000 or 2001, and not to mention, in an old episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Scott Disick brought up the fact that Khloe went on tour with Diddy when, again, she was in high school, which is just weird and icky, and I really can't believe her parents let her do that. Now, Khloe has been very open about her friendship with Diddy. Now, Khloe also spoke to her sister Kourtney about Diddy's parties and just hanging out with Diddy in general. In a 2014 clip from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe tells Kourtney that she was with a bunch of her friends, which includes Diddy, Quincy Brown, Justin Bieber, and French Montana. Now, it is important to note that Diddy was Justin Bieber's mentor, and the Kardashians were good friends with Justin as he dated Kendall Jenner, and there were rumors that he even got together with Kourtney. Then there's French Montana. Khloe dated him briefly in 2014, but he was really good friends with Diddy. French Montana was a longtime collaborator of Diddy and was once signed to his Bad Boy record label. Diddy even executive produced French Montana's 2023 documentary. Now, in an April 2024 interview with Vlad TV, French Montana stated that he and Diddy had parted on good terms, so who knows if he was ever involved with all of this Diddy stuff. Then there was the one time in 2014 where Khloe was talking to Kourtney and her friend about attending a Diddy party. Now, Khloe's friend wanted to talk about it, but Khloe kept repeating to her to stop talking. Now, what was Khloe trying to hide? Did she know any of the bad stuff going on, or was it because she had to sign an NDA at the party? Yep, you heard that right. We just recently learned that Diddy made his partygoers sign NDAs in order to attend his parties. A document release shows that guests were issued strict rules on discussing Diddy, his associates, and any activities or individuals present at his events. The NDA reportedly forbade guests from sharing information about Diddy, his family members, current or former partners, or friends. Now, the agreement goes even further, barring attendees from conducting interviews, writing books, or speaking about any details about the parties or Diddy's private life without prior written consent. Now, in a unique provision, the NDA is enforceable for either 70 years or the artist's lifetime, plus an additional 20 years, whichever is longer. Now, this is an absolutely crazy NDA, and it totally makes Diddy look even more suspicious. Now, the Kardashians have another link to Diddy, and that is Corey Gamble. Now, Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble have been dating since 2014, but Corey has a past with Diddy as well. Now, during the Juicy Scoop podcast on April 23rd, host Heather McDonald and guest Spencer Pratt discussed a conspiracy theory circling social media that was linked to the couple. The new conspiracy on TikTok, which I'm sure it will end this week because she'll pop up on Instagram, is that Kris fled the country and she has not been seen since Diddy's house was raided, they said. Supposedly, her and Corey are on these tapes. This is all allegedly, it's what TikTok is saying. If TikTok does get banned, where are we gonna get all these stories from? They joked. Now, since then, Kris has been seen in public multiple times and has posted on social media, but who's to say that they're not on those tapes? I mean, anything could happen at those so-called parties, and it honestly wouldn't shock me, which is kinda sad. Now, an insider said that Corey was aware of Diddy's controversial engagements, and a lot of people believe that Corey must have some knowledge of what was going on, claimed the source. But the insider also noted that he totally denied the allegations. Other insiders have claimed that Kris is doing everything she can to distance herself and her family from Diddy. I mean, Kim even unfollowed Diddy on Instagram. They definitely know that something was up. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if they're called to testify in his trial or not.
Liars always get caught, and it seems like the Kardashians have been busted for lying about their beauty secrets, business deals, storylines, and more. So the Kardashians are known to take many extravagant vacations and adventures, including one very memorable visit to Bora Bora on their show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Well, there, Kim reportedly lost her diamond earrings, leading the whole family to search the water for her prized jewelry. Naturally, losing something of such great worth and importance brought plenty of viewers and sparked tons of discussion online about the episode. Seriously, I have friends who have never ever seen a whole episode of the show, but if I were to quote, Kim, oh my god, like, come on. According to RadarOnline.com, Kim's ex-husband, Kris Humphries, said it didn't actually happen. Kim didn't lose her earrings. This move was a publicity stunt to get views. And while this surely isn't the only time the show created a false moment, more on that later, the lost earrings are a prime example of the lack of reality in reality TV. Yes, I know we all know that reality TV is quasi-scripted by this point in our life, and if you didn't, my bad, but it's really bad when it's just so blatant. One of the most talked about events of said famous show was Kim's extremely short-lived marriage to Kris Humphries, by the way. That marriage lasted less than 3 months and commanded headlines for months following the split. The whole situation was awkward, and Humphries reportedly felt betrayed by Kim, feeling like the marriage was all in the name of ratings. The 72-day wedding will forever live on in infamy. And when you consider there's no such thing as bad publicity, I guess it was a great thing for the family. I'm more on the page of why would you waste all that time and money if you knew it wasn't gonna work out. Well, according to news outlets, that's exactly what the marriage was meant to do, drive awareness and ratings for the Kardashian family show. In fact, Kim wanted her goodbye to Humphries to be on the show, but the producers rejected the idea. These days, Kris Humphries wants nothing to do with the family, has asked to be completely omitted from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, doesn't want to be in the spotlight. Sorry dude, I genuinely wish you all the best away from this media circus. Many of the events on Keeping Up with the Kardashians were staged, including a lot of Kourtney's vicious vocal battles with Scott. I know I've already covered a lot being fake today, but I just really want to drive this statement home, folks. Turns out once cameras stopped rolling, Kourtney and Scott would just laugh about filmed fights and the drama and the discussion it would drive with viewers. That being said, it's also been revealed that Scott has faced serious addictions, leading some folks to wonder if the fights in the show were real, or maybe these fights really were just a laugh. These assumptions were on the idea of them being fake was maybe a cover-up for how serious the issues were in the relationship. Now, regardless, there's no denying the tension these fights created amongst the fans of the show. The duo ended up splitting for good in 2015. You know, Kourtney's off living her life. Gray hairs. Most of us get them, it's just part of growing up. I had a cousin who was silver by the time he was 22. I'm already finding them, it is what it is. Well, Kim Kardashian got caught in a heck of a fib about them during an appearance on Live with Kelly and Ryan, where she bragged about having never found a single gray hair on her head. So the discussion began with Ryan Seacrest being like, yeah, how do you keep your hair platinum? And she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk in depth about the lengthy process that goes into bleaching my very naturally dark roots. She said when I dye my roots it's gonna take probably 8 hours, so I've just been lazy, it's just so much work. And then that's when the conversation naturally moved over to the topic of gray hair, and Kim was like, I haven't gone gray yet. And she's grinning. She's like, I haven't had a gray hair yet. Isn't that weird? Well, Kim, since he asked, some folks might say, yeah, that is weird. Or certainly a tad unusual at least. And a quick little Google search, and I mean a quick one, will tell you that Kim actually got her first gray allegedly in 2018 at 37 years old. And she broke that news while chatting on Live with Kelly and Ryan that year. At the time of her appearance, her then husband, Kanye West, who legally changed his name to Kanye, had been at the center of attention following a number of heated Twitter things and controversial interviews. I can't say what they're about, but you know what I'm talking about. Kim came to her then husband's defense in wake of the backlash and joked during the appearance on Live with Kelly and Ryan that he'd caused her so much stress that she'd gone gray. Saying yeah, he's doing really good, he's got a couple of albums coming out, he's just really focused on that. I will say he gave me my first gray hair this week and I'm blaming that on him. And having been through a lot of trauma, and notably a divorce in the however many years since that interview, sure, Kim could be excused for having forgotten about that one particular gray. But folks, my story's not done here. Back in 2022, Kim came face to face with another pesky hair, yes, a silver hair, during an episode of her show. So come on girl, stop lying, not worth it. When Kylie Jenner sold 51% of her Kylie Cosmetics company in a deal valued at $1.2 billion back in 2020, it was an incredibly newsworthy moment. One of the greatest celebrity cash outs of all time, the transaction seemed to confirm what Kylie had been saying all along, and what a lot of news outlets like Forbes had declared in March of 2019, that Kylie Jenner was indeed a self-made billionaire. But in the deal's fine print, a less flattering truth emerged. Kylie's business was significantly smaller and less profitable, and the family had spent years leading the cosmetics industry and media outlets to believe. Of course, white lies, omissions, and outright fabrications, I guess, are to be expected from this family at this point. They did perfect and monetize the concept of famous for being famous, but Shayna Moakler, Travis Barker's ex-wife, went on a podcast and claimed that Kim Kardashian hooked up with them, which is a major news thing, considering Travis, was a thing with Kourtney, whole thing there. Not only that, but there was allegedly cheating involved. Shayna claimed that Travis was seeing Kim behind her back and that Kim played a big part in the breakdown of her marriage. During her appearance on the Dumb Blonde podcast, Shayna revealed that she and Travis were working on the relationship when she was sent text messages between him and Kim from an anonymous source. She said that they were trying to meet up at her sister's house to do the deed. Apparently, when she showed the text to Travis, he already deleted them. So of course, Shayna had reason to be suspicious. And what people can't seem to get over about the story is that apparently Travis might have been interested in Kim before he was into Kourtney. Kim Kardashian was investigated by the FBI after getting $250,000 in a trash bag. So according to a report from 2023, Kim was questioned by the feds as part of an investigation into this big finance guy, Joe Lowe, who was a mogul at the center of the infamous 1MDB fund embezzlement scandal. So US prosecutors alleged that he had stolen at least $4.5 billion from One Malaysia Development Berhad, which was founded and led by a former prime minister. The Justice Department indicted him in 2018 for conspiring to launder billions of dollars stolen from the development fund and paying out hundreds of millions of dollars in bribes. Since then, he's been a fugitive. He's living elsewhere. Well, back in 2019, Kim told the FBI that she played some games in a Las Vegas casino with Lowe, and she won big. He told her to keep the chips she won, which were worth $350 grand. And when she went to the casino counter to cash out, she was handed $250K and a trash bag full of $100 bills. She just put it in her carry-on bag, boarded a flight back to LA. And on a later trip to Vegas, she collected the remaining 100 grand, again in a trash bag full of cash. Look, I might not be a gambler, but like, I've worked a sketchy job every once in a while, and this sounds really sketchy and like kind of money laundering and like, ooh, real bad.